we'll start with Andrew McGlashan.
Thanks, Pat. Hi, Nick and Mike. This is for ESPN Cricket Info, just for clarity. I guess just start with a top line one. I guess either of you can answer this. You obviously talk about it in the report about how you were sort of low point in the cycle coming into the next two mega summers, I suppose you could call them. I mean, just broadly on sort of cricket cycles and things, how sustainable is it that cricket relies on these big summers when England and India tour, and as we go forward into the next, I guess, cycle of rights and things, and obviously there's a bit of uncertainty over what that will look like. How sustainable do you think the current sort of model is?
Well, Andrew, I'll have a quick comment and then Nick. And I mean, I think, if you go back to that slide that showed the impact on revenues, India and England, the reserves would be significantly stronger now, and we'd be in obviously a very significant liquidity position. So, for us, yes, long term, kind of a smoothing makes sense, but it's the reality of significant economics with the large sort of countries, which you're seeing in the next 2 years, build us back to a very, very strong position. In that, whether it be kind of roles and responsibilities, savings that we've sort of brought across system, and increase capacity and focus on new content, expertise in terms of our kind of commercial area, I think we're very confident and very strong in terms of the long-term sustainable position. I mean, the other thing to note, in terms of the balance sheet, there's no recognition, of the value of the licenses, the IP of Cricket Australia, which is, in the billions. So there is huge value to the future cash flows of Cricket Australia. In terms of day-to-day sort of management of cash flow, this is a low point of the cycle, but it's been doubled down on because of the 2 years in COVID.
Yeah, and Andrew, I just add that we've got the confidence to make sure we're really continuing to invest strongly in high performance in community, because we know what the content's going to be. We've also got 7-year agreements in place now, Seven, Fox, Disney. We've got the player MOU where we're playing more to the top players, more to our female players. We've made some adjustments to the salary cap to be really globally competitive. So I think those long-term contracts and the FTP being set, it allows us to project out, 5-7 years with a really good level of certainty. So I think from that perspective, it is sustainable. And the plan is to build back reserves. As Mike said, I think COVID cost us all up. When you think about reductions in revenue for not being able to have people in through the gate, plus all the costs of taking quarantine hotels, net it cost around about 100 million. We would be up at around that point without COVID, but we've managed to preserve the investments in high performance, keep the game going, and also keep investing in the community through distributions for members. So I think we've got a really clear plan.